If you have a lot of Capricorn or Aquarius placements, I have to break something down to you. You are the karma. You are the karma. They weren't using you. God was using you to bring justice into a situation. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it was nice. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm also not saying you didn't learn something from it too. But what I am saying is sometimes we can take it personally when things don't work out and we wonder, like, why does this keep happening? It's not even about you sometimes. It's about the fact that you are the vessel that was able to carry the karma that was necessary for whatever sort of contractual agreement y'all came to before you incarnated in these bodies. So, I know it's annoying because a lot of people get triggered by you. Just by your presence alone, they think you're being self-righteous, they think you're being judgy, they think you're being whatever the fuck. It's just that your presence brings up some very deep-rooted stuff, usually around dad. If they have daddy issues, it's gonna bring that up. Because you're being the father they never had, and that might make them feel some type of way. Or at the very least, an authority figure. And so now it's like they either really crave your respect, but feel some type of way if they don't get it, and or they feel competitive, like they have to one-up you and then knock you down a peg to feel better about themselves. It's really interesting, honestly, but again, can be annoying. So I feel you, and I'm just reminding you, sometimes it's not even about you. It's something bigger than you. So let yourself do whatever it was that you agreed to, that you don't remember, and then let it go.
I knew it. I freaking knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And this year showed it to me even more proof. Like, I used to joke and say, I'm the Jesus in the family. I'm the sacrifice. I'm the one that holds all the physical and mental illnesses in the family. I do. I have a stellium Capricorn. I have a stellium Capricorn. Stellium Capricorn. Before I was born, Grandma was told I was coming. My name was not supposed to be Jessica. It was supposed to be Bethany. My mom took a look at me and said, oh, she doesn't look like a Bethany. Let's name her Jessica. My name also means gift from God, gift from heaven. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And the other thing is too, and I've talked about this so much this year because I've been able to actually speak about it, but it just seemed like everyone that would go around me, it doesn't matter if you meet me one time even, and you tell me your whole life story. Yes, that happens to a lot of people. But you tell me your whole life story, and then either I pull out something out of you that you've been hiding, or one of your traumas that you've never spoken, or you tell me your biggest, deepest, darkest secret, and you're like, why the F did I just tell you that? Or like that program I was in, The Boss. Like, she was saying things, she's like, oh, I probably should have said that. And I'm like, see? Or like some invisible illness you have, I bring it out, I activate it. It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. And everyone's always saying, oh, your light is so big. Oh, your light is too much for me. Oh, your energy is just too much for me. It makes sense. It makes sense. And this year, the people around me, it sounds bad, but the people around me, it seems like they're constantly getting karma. Like, everyone around me has had karma this year. Like, I turned 33 and it was just like boom, 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 boom. It sounds so egotistic, or I sound very manic, but it's the truth. And I've been like, I knew it deep down. I was always like, my purpose. What is it? Now I get it. I'm here to force you to talk about your issues that are keeping you in the past. I'm here to force you to have your invisible illness come forward that you've been trying to hide, or your demons come out, or whatever. I'm here to force you to face your shadow. Oh my god, it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. That video, I was like, oh, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew I wasn't human. I knew And that's why I have so many physical and mental illnesses. Because they're not mine. They're not mine. They're the people's around me, and I'm taking it on for them. I'm being the one to take it on. I need to give it all back to them. But if I give it back to them, then I'm upset because now they're being affected. But it doesn't belong to me. None of this belongs to me. Oh my god, it makes sense. And Grandma asked for help. She asked for help. And when she heard Jesus' voice, he said, would you give up everything to follow me? And she said, yes. And then all this stuff happened. Like, karma. Doesn't mean karma's bad, but like, karma can be like, if you did something good, you'll get good. If you did something bad, you're gonna get bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you try to cheat or something, like, you'll get it, it will come back to you. But karma can also be your own issues that you never speak to. And the other thing about that video too is when she's like, especially daddy issues. Strangers and people I know all the time are telling me not mommy stuff, but daddy stuff. My dad did this, and my dad did this, and my dad did this, and my dad. And it's always like really, really like deep things. Like it could be a secret that's been in their family for generations and generations. Yes, I'm talking about, you know what, the I word. And they'll tell me, and they're like, why did I just tell you all that? Please don't tell anyone. That's a secret in our family. Like, what? Or like, I could literally just meet someone and they'll tell me that they'll tell me their sexual identity. And they'll be like, I've never told one person this. Or, you are the second person that knows this. Or, like things like that. And like, people are always telling me everything. And now it makes sense. Like, I've always said, I'm like the therapist. Because everyone's always telling. Maybe that's my purpose. Maybe I'm supposed to be a therapist. I know I'm supposed to be a teacher. I'm supposed to be teaching things. But maybe I'm supposed to go back to school and be a therapist. Like, get a degree. Or maybe I don't need a degree anymore nowadays. I don't know. But everyone talks to me and tells me everything. Like, you could have the deepest, darkest, nastiest, like, okay, I've heard things from people, complete strangers even, that where I'm like, someone should be in jail for these things. That's how, like, people tell me things. Or, like, literally, like, I could just talk to someone, right? Like, they could meet me for the first time with one of my, like, doctors or staffs or whatever, you know, and they have someone with you. They'll be meeting me for the first time, and after, they're, like, sick. They're like, I don't feel good. And then they're sick like they've never been sick before. Or someone has, like, I don't know. Like, there's this person that had a heart attack. Did I cause it? I don't know. But I did healing on them, and they felt energy going out through their body. Another person, they had a hidden brain disease thing, and they ended up passing away. But, again, it was activated. Like, And those aren't like the first one. Like I've had my case manager did healing on her, and she was the sickest she's ever been. She said that she was literally throwing up black gunk. Like, hello? We both agree that that was probably like your demons coming out of you. But like, yeah, people tell. It makes so much sense now. It makes so much sense. It also makes sense why I've always felt like people didn't like me or love, like my family actually really loves me because they do the things they do. But they're doing the things they're doing because they're feeling my energy, and it's making them feel very defensive, and so they're attacking without realizing they're attacking. And like she said, they're either going to try to lower you so they can up you, or they're going to, the other word she said. That is so true too. That happens all the time with, oh my gosh, it happens all the time. Oh my gosh. It happens all the time. It all makes so much sense now. It makes so much sense. I'm the karma vessel. So, does that mean I am going to be stuck alive, though, until they all learn the karma? That also makes sense why I can't freaking pass away. I know. People are like, oh, she's S. I am not S. I am S idolation. I've been S idolation my entire life. But now it makes sense because I'm holding everyone's freaking karma. Everyone needs to take their karma back, and they need to face their own damn demons and fears. And it makes so much sense now. And some people are going to watch this video and be like, huh? Or she's manic, or she's crazy, or all these things. But you know what? I don't give a shit anymore because I now have heard what I have thought my entire life. Like, if you go back to even to like 2010, I've talked about this scenario, this, like, what if I'm, like, I've talked about it even all the way back to 2010. You can go even further. You can go when I was like 12, 13 years old. I didn't understand it, but I wasn't self-aware. So, like, I would see it, but I was like, is it me? Is it not? So, like, that's the other thing, too. So, like, when I get really, really upset and explosive, it's not actually me. And it makes so much sense. Like, there was an incident with my dad during Christmas, and when he was yelling at me, and he's like, you're so selfish, and blah, blah, blah. For some reason, and I said this when I got back, I was like, it did not feel like he was yelling at me. It felt like he was yelling at my mom. Like, for some reason, I felt like I was my mom, like, sitting in her body and him saying this to her. And I have that a lot. Like, there's moments where people are like, when they do yell at me, I should say family. When they do yell at me, sometimes I'm like, inside my head going, this doesn't feel like they're yelling at me. Like, I don't feel like this is coming at me. I feel like this is going at blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, it makes so much sense. Oh my gosh. I could cry because it's just like, it's literally a relief off my shoulders. Because it just solved a puzzle, like the biggest puzzle I've asked since I was so little. Okay, so now my other question I'm gonna be having that I've had since I was little as well, but the other side now is gonna be when. I've said it since I was little that I don't think I'm going to live past 50. I think I'm going to turn like 50 years old, and then that year I'm going to be gone. And I've said it since I was little as well, that I'm going to do it peacefully in my sleep. Like, I'm going to know it's coming, and I'm going to say all my goodbyes and my love and I love yous and stuff without letting everyone know that this is a goodbye. But I know deep down it's a goodbye. And I'm going to make sure I say my I love yous and stuff like that. And then I'm going to peacefully just go to sleep and pass away in my sleep. Not pass away, because you don't actually die. I'm going to go on to my next adventure, as I could say. I felt like this since I was little. And so, is that because 5 is new outcomes? So they've all, so the bloodline, that's why the ancestors chose me. It makes so much sense. Like, I'm always the one that everyone's doing something wrong, and I do one thing wrong, I get caught. I'm always the one that's getting like bullied and picked on and like all this stuff, or told I'm being manic, or I'm being told that my energy is too much, or basically being controlled, I guess you could say. And it makes sense. It makes sense. Because what's going on is I'm feeling their energy. And their energy is affecting me. Making me act a certain way to push out their demon that they're trying to hide, or their illness they're trying to hide. So, like, I'm curious on, am I actually able to not necessarily know what disease someone is having, but what's the word? Like, hear it, like my clairaudience. When someone is like around me and they're telling me their whole life story, I sometimes will hear in my head, like, their heart, they have cancer. I'll hear those things in my head, but I've never like been like, oh, I think you might have cancer. You should probably get checked out. Like, because I've never like, I guess, trust it. And I need to learn to trust it, because maybe, like, that's the whole thing. Is, like, they're trying to, like, hide that. Like, that's one of their demons that's hiding. And it needs to come out. And I'm going to make it mad and frustrated so it comes out. But when it comes out, then they can start healing. Kind of like, I'm going to cause the storm. And then when the storm's over, they're going to have this amazing, beautiful rainbow miracles and all that. Because it makes, oh my God, it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. This video is not one of my longest, but it's long. But, oh my gosh, like, there's such a relief. There's such a relief. And I asked and asked and asked for a sign. I opened my phone, and that's the first video on my For You page that is there. I followed the person because I went and checked out some of her other videos, and I was like, what? She is so wise. She has a lot of wisdom, and I bet she's called crazy as well. Like, I bet people think she's just nuts. But she is so intelligent. And that's something that I've grown up with for my whole life too, is people thought I was crazy, blah, blah, blah. But then when people have an open mind, they actually listen to me, and they're like, wow, you're actually really smart. You're really intelligent, blah, blah, blah. I always have. It's just you had a closed mind, or you were sleeping, or whatever. But it just makes sense now. It makes so much sense. Like, I get it now. Like I could feel tears coming, because it's such a release. It makes sense. It makes sense why my confidence and self-esteem were so high when I was younger. and people would try to pull it down, and then they did. Certain people, I should say. But now I'm gaining it back because I'm finding out who I truly am more and more. Like, almost pretty much every day, I'm finding out who I am more and more, and I'm healing more and more. And that video that was a huge hug for my inner child. That was such a huge little relief from my inner child. Like, my inner child right now, you can see it. I'm people would call this manic. I'm overexcited right now. Like, I could literally jump up out of this chair right now and, like, start dancing and being like, yes, Lord, yes, God, thank you, universe, thank you. Like, I am beyond excited right now. Like, if you can see me, my body is, like, twitching and shakiness of excitement. And, oh my God, I'm so excited. My inner child right now, she is jumping and spinning in circles and laughing, and she's so excited right now. Like, thank you for this answer. And if I would have gotten this results when I was younger, because I've been asking this question pretty much my whole life, if I would have got that answer when I was younger, it might have caused me to become very, very egotistic. And so I think that's why, again, it's about timing. I had to learn certain things so I wouldn't be ego about it. Because Karma, she's ego. She's very egotistic and judgmental and all of that. And so I had to learn not to be those things. And I do have moments where I slip up. But I've gotten better and better and better. And I think that's why I got the time now. I think now is why I was able to get that confirmation, that answer, because I've gotten better and better and better about not judging people until they talk to me. I've gotten better and better to understand why certain people go through certain things. I've gotten better and better that we all chose to go through the certain things. So before I came here, me, God, and my ancestors sat down and decided she's going. She is the warrior. She's the one that can hold it all in and release it. And yep, she's the one. She did it already. She made it to the top already. She's gonna take the family back to the top. They have to face their own demons. And that's, again, why, that makes sense why I am by two different people. Because those two families have to face their own demons. And one of the families is my family, like, oh my God. And it's the dad's side. Well, the mom's side has things too, but I guess both sides had to face their demons. They had to learn to accept that they have bad thoughts, not bad thoughts, that they have inappropriate thoughts about things to do with the family, or they had to face the demons of this has happened in the family, or just tons of things like that. So it makes so much sense. I now understand why it happened to me. Because again, like I said, it had to happen in order for the family to face their demons. They never would have faced their demons. So it was a good thing I told. Because I've always been like, oh, I feel bad that I told. I shouldn't have said anything. I should have kept this big secret. No, because then none of them would have faced karma. And yeah, they're facing karma. They did face karma. Wow. Wow. Yeah, some people are going to watch this video and be like, huh? And then some are going to be like, I totally understand everything she's saying. The ones that understand everything I'm saying, come on. Come on. Let's be friends. And ones that are the karma too, like the ones that have stelliums, come on. Let's be friends because we're the karmas in the family. And so I totally get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. It makes so much sense. But is it only Aquarius and Capricorn stelliums though? Or can it be like Pisces stelliums and all that? Or do they have something different? Like, are they... And it makes sense being the Capricorn and the Aquarius because the Capricorn's like the end in a way, and the Aquarius is the beginning. The Capricorn's the end of a cycle, and the Aquarius is the beginning of a cycle. So, like, you get your karma, and then you get to go forward. And are you going to be back into this loop? This stuck loop? Sorry, I got a text. Are you going to be stuck in this loop? And just keep going and not learn your karma and try to hide the karma and pretend that it doesn't affect you and blah, blah, blah? Or are you going to heal it so you can go to the Aquarius and new things? It makes sense now. It makes so much... Being a lefty, right hand of the father. So the right hand of the father is the person being a lefty next to him. Like, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. But it also, like I said, this also made me realize that I maybe need to trust my clairaudience a little bit more. Like, I need to trust my intuition a little bit more. When someone's telling me their stuff, I maybe need to be like, wait a minute, I just don't want you to freak out, but you should probably go get checked out this area, or things like that. Like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense. I'm becoming speechless and flabbergasted because I'm just like, wow, what a relief. What a relief. And the fact that we just had the full moon where you need to release, and we're ending in a karmic cycle for Capricorns, it just... Timing. It makes so much sense. Okay, that's it. Okay, love you. Bye. Peace.